Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Big Sauce, ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Thank you for jumping into the Concrete Genius podcast. I got my top 5 coaching candidates for you in Marion County, Central Indiana basketball. You know, I'm hot off the presses with it. So first, before we get started, make sure you can see this logo right here. See the logo. Tap in with us, ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Go to Concrete Genius Pod on YouTube, subscribe to us. Concrete Genius Pod on Instagram, subscribe to us. This episode is brought to you by God's Helping Hands Personal Service. For all your home health needs, take care of your loved ones in a timely, professional, considerate manner. God's Helping Hands Personal Service. Apply for employment. Employment is being offered. Reasonable rates, comparable salaries, beneficial hours, benefits, and everything. The website is GHHPSLLC.com. Once again, that's GHHPSLLC.com. Now let's get to it. I know what y'all came here for. Of course, I'm juiced in like the radiator, the generator. So it's been above all. I want to celebrate my 50th, but y'all know about that. Y'all didn't come here to hear about that. Y'all came to hear about these coaches. So I'm going to go with my top 5 hottest coaching candidates in Indiana right now. We got number 1, we got Chris Hawkins, Crispus Attucks. Right now, Crispus Hawkins is a hot commodity around Indianapolis with the ADs because his resume of winning. He gets kids to college, which is very vital, which separates him from a lot of normal candidates. Has a great relationship with the community. He knows how to work both sides, great with the coaches, has a great reputation with the coaches across Indiana. Is very respected by the IBCA, very respected in the community. You know what I mean? Does a lot for the African-American community, relates well with African-American kids. A lot of schools on this bumper. I'll give you the schools in a minute. Sorry about that. Number 2 on our list, we got Remus Woods at Lutheran. Remus Woods is extremely smoking right now. He just won a 1A championship with Lutheran. Make sure you can see the logo again. Get the hoodies at ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. The Salmon is fly. I'm one of the freshest niggas in the universe. But number 2 is Remus Woods. Lutheran University, dynamic coach, has totally transformed the culture at Lutheran. He's actually probably a year ahead of schedule in his mind. In my mind, I thought he could win it. I've always believed in him. I came up coaching against him. Amazing personality, amazing character, family man. Another one that's respected on both sides of the community. In the black community, well respected, but knows how to work the refs, knows how to work going through the South. You got to remember, man, this is a man who beat like Greenwood Christian. They were ranked high. Then he had to beat Bloomfield, who was number 1. Then he had to beat Lagodi. You know what I mean? 10 miles from their home. So this man knows how to navigate the ebbs and flow of Indiana basketball, the things. Oh, and shame on whoever didn't vote Remus Woods 1A Coach of the Year. Every other Coach of the Year won a state championship, but y'all going to get us 1A Coach of the Year somebody else. But I digress. So Remus Woods is a very, very hot commodity right now. When you go to Lutheran, you win a championship at Lutheran. I mean, come on now. And he's doing like some assistant AD stuff. He's got some things going. Hawkins is also the AD at Attucks. So that's very important. Number 3 on my list. Number 3 with a bullet is Larry Upshaw, 21st Century Indiana. Larry Upshaw is one of the most brilliant coaches in Indiana that nobody knows about. His skill development is second to none. You think about all the players he's had, even if you just thinking right now with Jonell Davis, he's had him, Ashton Williamson, just guards on guards on guards, work on work on work. And he can inspire kids that maybe other people don't believe in. This is a very valuable commodity to be able to coach and inspire and be strategic. Coach Upshaw is one of the most hottest names in Indiana basketball coaching circus. I don't know for sure if he wants to leave, but the opportunity being a bigger market is there for him. And I don't want to piss off nobody at the crib because I know we deserve nice things and all that. But if he deserves a bag and an opportunity at the bigger stage and he gets it, excuse me, I think he would be a fool not to take it. You know, unless West Side come open or something like that, I think he would be a fool not to take it. Ain't nothing like 4A basketball. Number 4, and all these picks I'm telling you, mind you, are just kind of me, you know, putting some things together, me dictating what I want to do. I got sources, but I'm kind of connecting the dots, all right? My number 4 choice is Chris Byers. I had a chance to watch Chris Byers train my son, practice my son's staff. I had a chance to watch him during the at Warren both years, the undefeated years, and then the year after, year before. Preparation second to none. Just need the Jimmys and Joes, man. Execution, intelligence, and pushing kids to the limit. It's all there. And I don't even think he wants to leave Franklin Central. He's got some studs coming in. But if I was a coach at one of these schools that I'm about to tell you, I would be calling Chris Byers, because I think with the right school, Chris Byers can win you a championship in 2 to 3 years. Maybe 1 at the right school. Number 5 is DeAndre Brock. DeAndre Brock is not coaching right now. He's doing a lot of administrative, brilliant things over at Phelan Academy. But when it just comes to raw basketball, DeAndre Brock's one of the best basketball minds in Indiana. I've seen it with the Max Smith, with the Jesse Bingham class, with the classes before that, a couple of years before that. He's always in the gym working, relatable to kids, and very blunt. And that's what black kids need as a coach. If you're going to hire a coach, you got to think outside the box. You can't get somebody who want to play with these kids, be friends with them. You got to get somebody who has some backbone and you know, that's relatable. But, you know, I'm not here to be your best friend. You know, I'm here to push you and get the most out of you. And I think any smart AD would go after DeAndre Brock. Next up, I got Phil Washington at LC. Hold on. Phil is very intense, very passionate. Had some opportunities before, you know, worked through some adversity like all of us do. And actually, that's the character trait, an asset, overcoming adversity. Great personality, cares about the kids. Great energy, connected on the AAU side. His practices are well organized. I watched him a lot. I had the privilege to coach with LC girls while he was coaching LC boys. Talked a lot of basketball with him. I always respected his competitiveness. I didn't know him well, but this year we talked a lot of basketball. I respect his knowledge, his mind. I'm 100% sure he's prepared to be a head coach. That's Phil Washington. And I got a sleeper, and this is for, well, my sleeper is Brian Keaton, Center Grove. If I was an AD, I would maybe looking to hire Brian Keaton. He's right at that age where 40-ish, mid-40-ish, where he can kind of play both sides. He's got the relationships, hell of a coach, hell of a strategist. Now, I don't know if that's something he would want to do. He's kind of one of those smart dudes, kind of laying a cut. But if I was an AD, that would be somebody I would sneak at. Brian Keaton. He's on Center Grove bench in some capacity. And I don't even know, he may leave. He may even get pissed off at me saying that. But these are my 7. Now, again, ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on all socials, because now as we go, we come into our daily progressions. A lot of these videos will only be available on YouTube. We have state championship winning coach Remus Woods coming on the pod tomorrow, so make that available too. Again, this episode is brought to you by God's Helping Hands Personal Service, LLC. They're offering gainful employment, or if you have a loved one who's suffering and needs assistance, reach out, explore the opportunities, the possibilities, and better yourself. Again, God Helping Hands Personal Service, LLC. The website is ghhpsllc.com. Now, let's talk about these schools. The Warren job has not been announced yet. And I know I blew my gasket last year. I said Warren was going to be open. I was a year early. I think Warren's going to be open this year, 100%. Obviously, Pike is open. LC just came open. Southport's open. Perry's open. So, my advice for Perry, two coaches I would look at for out there. You don't have the greatest infusion of talent, but you do get a few gems. So you need somebody that can develop your youth league. You need somebody with some AAU connections. Get some bodies in that gym. Get some electricity in that gym. Get some passion. Get some noise in them gyms. I got two guys for you. I got Brian Keaton, Center Grove, and I got Scott Adams. Scott's a good young coach, smart, know how to work the room, know how to put a staff together. I think he'd be a good low-key situational option for Perry. But I don't have a lot of plugs at Perry. I don't have a lot of ties in Perry. This is, like I said, this is just strictly formative off the top of the dome. Me giving you what I think I need. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Tap in. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. ConcreteGenius.pod. Please follow us on Instagram. Support us. Share these videos. Get this popping. All right? Next, we got Southport. To me, it's only two options for Southport, in my opinion. If they're smart, you Southport, you in a schedule with Ben Davis, you in a sectional with Ben Davis and Pike. So you got to come with it. Ain't going to be no more Cutley sneaking through here trying to get a sectional. And you got to get somebody that can get players in your direction. You got to get a youth league. So for me, Southport, I would really just be looking at Remus, who's already on the South Side, very well connected. You're going to have to pay him. Open the books up. Probably 120 or something, Make it right. Or Hawk. Hawk is alumni. Hawk to me is the obvious first choice for them. If it's not, then they got the wrong people in position. He's alumni. He played there, wearing state championship ring, regionals, sectionals, different classes, consistency, AAU relationships, college coaches relationships. And the thing what separates Hawk to me, why he's number one on my list, is he gets all his players to college, not just the one who's the superstars. He gets his bench players to college. That's commendable in these days and times. Now, I know Warren's not open yet, but trust me, it will be. It should be. So for Warren, I got three names. I got three names for you. I think you got either Coach Byers, make it right, start it over, give them the athletes. You got some bigs, you got some 6'8" talent, you got a couple of guards. It's going to take somebody with a disciplined, college-style mindset to come in and stop what Ben Davis is doing. It's not going to just be no Cutley, we are the world, we love him because he played here or whatever. You got to get a general in there, and a general that know how to train soldiers to dominate. And I learned more about domination and organization practicing for FC. I know that if you take that at Warren, that probably work. My number 2 pick at Warren. Well, number 1 pick, actually, I go backwards, 3, 2, 1. So my number 1 pick is DeAndre Brock. I mean, alumni, community, child of the community, intelligent, cerebral, probably one of the best 5 basketball minds I've ever met. And I met a lot of people in basketball. DeAndre Brock's one of the brightest offensive guys. We talk basketball clicks. Y'all gonna have to treat him right, make it right. But it's always, if you alive, you got a chance to make it right. It's always a chance to make it right. You should make it right. And y'all dropped the ball when Byers left, trying to give it to, I don't know how many people y'all try to give. Y'all try to give Gary, y'all try to give it to Christoph, y'all try to give it to Jesus. Y'all try to give it to Mel Kiper. Y'all try to give it to Stephen A. Smith. Give it to Brock, man. The boy knows how to win. Period. Teaching kids that come from situations that scare normal people how to win and change the course of their life is a priceless skill, and he has it. So, Warren, I hope you're listening. I think Phil Washington may be a player, Warren. Think around that. It's a possibility, but that's very, very slim to none. So we got LC. LC, the top candidate for LC is Phil Washington. Phil Washington knows the kids. He's ingrained in the system. He brings a lot of passion, a lot of energy. I mean, he's just a unit. He's a basketball lifer. You know what I mean? He's filled with energy, ideas, creativity. He just comes with it and brings a lot of passion to the game. It's very important what his staff will look like. You know, when you get these jobs in Indianapolis, or Indiana for that matter, I think you gotta put your staff together right. Another good option for LC is Larry Upshaw. I think Larry Upshaw, with them LC kids, from what I know of being an LC, will relate to him. I think he's won. He's developed. He's intense. And he's fresh. You need something fresh. You know what I'm saying? You can't win with stale. Like, you get chips in the bag, you got to get something fresh sometimes. So I think Phil's top candidate. But if for some reason it don't work out with Phil, I would be beating down the door of Larry Upshaw, trying to get him here. I think his pedigree speaks for itself. I think now, with the way the technology and relationships are, and Zoom and Twitter and Instagram and stereotypes being broken, I don't think being from Gary is as a detriment as it would have been, say, 10 years ago when somebody like John Boyd was trying to get a job at Pike. You know what I mean? It was still a stigma. It's still always a stigma with Gary. Let's be honest about it. A lot of people turn their nose up at Gary, but it's a lot of brilliant minds come from Gary, 219, the region. So I think Larry Upshaw is one of those brilliant minds, and I think if given an opportunity at a powerful 4A school that cares about sports, he can compete for a 4A championship. And I also think Chris Hawkins is in the mix at LC. Don't count him out. He has great relationships with everybody around the county. He's been in meetings. He's been around. Just gonna have to take care of him. I would hire him because if you're always in competition to win, that means you're a winner. Now, you might not be able to win them all, but if you're always sniffing around it, city championship, county championship, sectional championship, win it, lose it, win it, lose it. That's a skill for y'all that don't know. Coming in fourth place every time, they ain't nothing special. Now, we got the big one. We got Pike. The Pike job is really thriving. A lot of people want it. A lot of college assistants have asked me about it. A lot of college coaches. It's crazy. Dudes are calling me about a high school job. I don't know. Want to keep it real about other shit, but calling me about a high school job. And speaking of that, this episode is brought to you by God's Helping Hands Personal Service. The website is ghhpsllc.com. Brought to you by concretegeniusmedia.com. And before I go into Pike, I want people to understand that I got video of my son killing at Weber State in practice. That video is being distributed to college coaches. In my opinion, my humble opinion, he was the best player on the team. Coach, we committed to resign. Everybody else got agendas in college. He was denied an opportunity. So what I want to say to you is this right here. How do you grow up being top dog, standing on your own, always hold your own, and the people who ain't do it like you did or did it to the same level, your peers, let's say that word, they get the same opportunity and they shine. So don't act like you, we ain't nice because we ain't get the opportunity. That's our relationships. All this shit's just about a chance. When they deny your chance, they know you got something. So you special. And that's what we are. We working every day. We grinding. We in the lab because we special. We get that one chance. We running away with it. And we winning somebody a conference championship. Now let's go to Pike. Pike is going to be tricky. You got my personal opinion, if you got to go alumni, I would go Justin Cage. I don't really know him personally, but talking basketball with the people that know him, seeing what some of the things he's done, a couple of games where he's helped out strategically, a couple of the players have told me, the resume being a undefeated champion, I know his name is high on the list, and I think it would be a good hire. I'm hearing some stuff about Teague, Jeff Teague. I know the Teague family is highly involved. They've done a lot for the community, the Pike community. The program, AU program, helping middle schools with uniforms. A lot of the coaches that's been through Pike have had a strong Teague affiliation. And I think both of those guys are great candidates. But I think if Pike really want to snap out of it and do something different, you got to go with Hawk. You got to go with somebody like Brock or somebody like Upshaw. I think if you go with somebody like Hawk, you got the resources, you got the gym, you got somebody that's getting kids, that's getting dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to party with your friends, but who can get dropped off in LA and go to the club and smoke and party with some dogs? And Hawk got access to dogs. And I'm not saying that other people don't, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? I'm really in the underground of this city. Like, it ain't too many players moved around in the last 4 years. I ain't had no hands on the chessboard. So I really know what's going on. And I know Pike is going to try to stay heavily Pike. That's the battle within their little board meetings right now. You know, I got sources in there. I'm tapped in heavily. A lot of people want to stay traditional Pike, you know, that didn't really work with football, you know what I'm saying? So they got to get this one right. Ben Davis just won. That's a lot of pressure. North Central's good. Kevin Gatton them got a hell of a staff over there. Lawrence North is good. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of pressure on Pike to get it right. Zionsville's good. Carmel's good. Brebeuf is going to be good. You know what I mean? So if they blow this, it's going to be a lot of kids getting up out of here. And if you hire somebody just because they're alumni, they better have the juice to get it done. Because that passion is cool and it's going to stir up the fan base. But don't nothing stir up the fan base like winning. I don't care if Oscar the Grouch coaching. I think Upshaw would be a great hire. I think he could relate to the kids that feel left out, that's not part of everything or anything. I think he could bring a level of unbiasedness to the program. I know it's a long shot hire. They fumbled the bag when they didn't hire John Boyd. It's a long shot hire, long shot reach. But if Pike was smart and wanted to get back to being competitive and masculine up and down the board, Hawk, Larry Upshaw, and I would take a look at Brock. Brock's a general. He's a leader. He's at that age where he's grown, stable, family man. You got to get some energy, some steam in there. You can't lose his hire. You better make sure you got somebody that got some juice. So, like, the people in this city with the juice, they get in position and they get in positions to be successful because they got people helping them keeping this thing rolling. So, and we know it. I mean, we ain't got to say no names, but some people get drowned out, some don't. But my advice to these ADs would be take your time, do your research, consult with me. I sign a non-disclosure agreement. Email me at concretegeniuspodcast@gmail.com. I sign a non-disclosure agreement, and I will help you with your coaching search. But you got to get this right. All right? And right now, my influence and my media is really shaping how people think because I'm knowing. You know what I mean? I called the Lutheran Championship. I called the BD Championship. I know who going where. Like, I know Warren come opening. And I'm telling you, I got a feeling. I don't know this for sure. I got a feeling BD may come open. I don't know why. It's just something. I keep getting this feeling that dude may resign. I know that's far-fetched because he got diamonds coming in the pipeline. But, man, some saying he might walk away. Y'all know I don't be wrong with intuition. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope he stay because that'll devastate the strength of the conference, the coaching of the conference. So right now he top dog. He should stay. Just eat, see who get hired. But for these other jobs, so let's go through it one more time real quick. My top 7 is Chris Hawkins, Crispus Attucks, Remus Woods, Lutheran, Larry Upshaw, 21st Century, Chris Byers, Franklin Central, DeAndre Brock, Phelan Academy, Phil Washington, Lawrence Central, Brian Keaton, Center Grove. Those are my 7. Warren's coming open. Pike, if you smart, you can hire you can hire Hawk. You can hire Upshaw. You can hire Brock. You want to stay safe, you hire Cage. You hire Teague. You're going to win a press conference. I'm curious to see how the basketball go. Winning the press conference could go 50-50. North Central won the press conference we got and won Marion County. Tech won the press conference and then win nothing. So it's really about that shit cool and this fly. Winning the press conference is important, but you better make sure you're getting that work every day. You got LC, you got Phil Washington, you got Hawk, you got Byers. I think that's basically going to Phil Washington. Warren, you got Byers. You got Brock. You got Hawk. You probably got a couple college assistants. And I'm going to leave off these lists just out of respect for their profession because they, you know what I mean? You don't want to be telling a motherfucking college coach somebody might go down. You got Southport. You got Remus, Hawk. You got Perry. I like Brian Keaton, Scott Adams. I don't know what the fuck Perry's doing, but I'm just taking an educated guess from some of my Southside sources. And that right there is the episode, concretegeniusmedia.com. This episode was brought to you by me. Subscribe to me on YouTube at concretegenius.pod. Some of these episodes will only be available on YouTube. This episode was brought to you by God's Helping Hands Personal Service, LLC. Checking in them for all your home health needs. If you're looking for gainful employment, they may be able to help you with that too. GHHPSLLC.com. This is your boy Big Sauce bringing you the informative, and tomorrow we have state championship winning coach Remus Woods of Lutheran High School joining the program, so I look forward to that. You guys stay stay out here on this concrete, stay smart, baby. All right? Peace. Love y'all.